interest. All these are liable expenses under petroleum profit tax. And when you get those liable expenses, you less it from your income. Then you get you now arrive at your adjusted profit. So after you have your adjusted profit, if there's any unrelieved loss, you bring it forward, you relieve it. Then you now also have your assessable profit. Then the next thing is less your capital allowance. After you have less your capital allowance, you get your chargeable or taxable profit. Then you also charge your tax rate, which your tax rate is 85% of your chargeable or taxable profit. And with that, you get your tax in petroleum profit what? Tax. So that is that about how to prepare petroleum profit tax. So in summary now of what we are discussing is that under petroleum profit tax, you know how to determine your income, and at times how to determine your crude oil. They may not give you your figure directly, like the one you export now. They can give you the exchange rate for dollar, or at times they give you number of barrels that is sold, and they will give you the price per barrel. Export or import. So whatever way the question is structured, all is that just determine your profit. Just determine your total sales from crude oil. Then you should, another thing you should be able to know is how to determine your allowable and disallowable expenses. So please, that one is very, very important. So one of the major disallowable expenses is depreciation. As depreciation is a disallowable expenses under company income tax, is also a disallowable expenses under petroleum profit tax. So that is question one. Two now is talking about income computation of petroleum profit tax on what they call it, these shipping companies, telecommunication companies, and so on and so forth. How do we calculate tax on them? That is what this question two is all about. Now, and this one has steps that you have to follow before you can compute income tax for all these shipping companies or telecommunication companies. Now, the number one thing is you have to determine if the company is a Nigerian company or a non-Nigerian company, because there's a way to calculate tax for Nigerian company and there's a way to calculate tax for a non-Nigeria company. So the question before me now is a nationwide shipping company limited, a foreign company. So a foreign company is telling you already that it's a non-Nigerian company. So the major problem we have in this kind of question now is, how do I know which, the problem we have in this kind of question is, how do I know, how do I get the income that is derived in Nigeria and the income that is not derived in Nigeria? That's another issue. And how you know income that is derived in Nigeria is that any consignment outside that is taking place from Nigeria to other country, that is income derived in Nigeria. But if the consignment is from other country to Nigeria, then it's income derived outside Nigeria. For example, now, at Lagos, a ship load, what they call it, goods and some other thing, and it travels to US. As it's going, that is income derived from Nigeria. But if it is coming from US to Nigeria, that is income derived outside Nigeria. It can also be aircraft that is taking off from Nigeria to any other country, that is income derived in Nigeria. But if the aircraft is flying from other countries to Nigeria, that is income derived outside Nigeria. Then another thing is you have to determine the global income. You have to determine what? The global income. And your global income is the addition of Nigeria income and income outside Nigeria. The addition of the two gives you your global income. So these are the things before you can compute the income tax for this kind of company. Do you have any question? If you are with me, do you have any question? Hello, everyone. Do we have any question?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Please, sir, I want to ask this petroleum profit tax. I thought they've moved on from that,
I can't
and we
hear
are now
you.
using. Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, the petroleum profit tax. I thought that we have moved on
Yes.
from petroleum profit tax. That's computing tax at 85%. We are now following the Petroleum Industry Act now.
Oh, yes, that's true, sir. We are now following the new Petroleum Industry Act.
Yes. So I don't know now. Is it? Are we still learning petroleum profit tax, or is Petroleum Industry Act now?
It should be Petroleum Industry Act that we should be
Because
learning. But depending on the way,
because
like the question that me I'm treating with you now, are you getting
okay,
it
sir.
now?
Yes, sir.
The question still talks that you should compute petroleum
Profit tax. Okay, sir.
profit what? Tax.
Tax. Okay, sir.
How you are following?
Yes, sir.
Because the question is April 2022 question.
Okay, sir.
And you know, petroleum industry is a new this thing that is just coming. So this question is saying you should compute petroleum profit what?
Tax.
Tax. And that's why I was just talking about what is before me here. But there's a new this thing which we call Petroleum Industry what? Act. So if that is what the question is asking you to do, are you getting it now? Then
Yes, sir.
that is what you should do. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
I hope that is clear now.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Do you have another question?
No other question.
Do we have another question?
Okay, does it mean that it depends on the year
Okay, let's
for the
continue
petroleum?
with the taxation of specialized business that we are discussing. Hello, I'm hearing you.
I said, does it mean that it depends on the year of the question? That the year of the question will determine whether we are doing PIA or PPT?
I'm not hearing you. Your network is
Okay, can you
breaking.
hear me now?
I
Can you hear
think
me now?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay, I'm asking that the petroleum profit tax and petroleum um, hat,
Industry
that does
Act.
it have to do with the year of the question? The year that we are given will determine if it's PIA or PPT.
No. Now, if they are going to ask you any question on that topic now, it's going to be Petroleum Industry Act because that's what is in vogue now. So they can't be asking you question on old thing that is happening. So you have to be current with what is happening.
Okay, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. I got that.
The network is
Thank you.
breaking. I can't hear. Hello?
I got that. Thank you
Yeah,
very
yeah.
much, sir.
Okay. Any other person that wants to say anything about that?
No, for now.
Okay, now let's be talking about the specialized business, the airline, shipping business, and telecommunication I'm discussing the other time. So you have explained how we can derive our Nigeria income and income outside Nigeria. And also, we have also discussed how to get our adjusted, the global income. Now, another thing is that whenever you have a question on that topic where they have arrived at profits, please take note. Whenever you have a question, they have arrived at what? Profits. In this type of topic, the first thing is that go and look at those things that were deducted to arrive at their profits. Are they all allowable what? Expenses. That's the first thing. Are they all allowable what? Expenses. If there is any of it that is not an allowable expenses, then you must recompute to get an adjusted profit. You must recompute to get what? An adjusted profit. And all you just do is that whatever that has been removed before, that is a disallowable expenses, you now add back. Like the question before me now, they remove wages and salaries. They deducted depreciation. Then they also deduct other what? Expenses before they arrive at their what? Net profit. So number one thing that you know there is that depreciation is a disallowable what? Expenses. You have to add it back. Because even the first thing they ask you to calculate now, under the requirement, the question says compute companies global. The question also now says again, compute the companies, that's A. B now, compute the company's adjusted profit ratio and depreciation ratio. Then the third one now, compute total profit of the company for Nigerian tax purposes. Then D now, compute the tax liability of the company for the relevant year of assessment. And E now says, how would the company be assessed to Nigerian tax if the IFRS is not satisfied with the foreign tax authority of the shipping company's home country on the basis of computing and assessing profit or loss? So now, the first thing that they ask you to compute is the global adjusted what? Profits. And that is what I was trying to explain the other time. For you to compute the global adjusted profit now, you now add back depreciation to the net profit they arrived at before. And they went further to tell us under the additional information that the other expenses they deducted of 38 million, it includes the following. They now said repair and maintenance, income tax provision, allowance for doubtful debts, donation to University of Lagos, donation to political parties, other disallowable what? Expenses. So you will now have to look at all those ones and see those ones that is disallowed out of other expenses now. And out of those other expenses, the income tax provision is a disallowable expenses. The allowance for doubtful debt too is a disallowable expenses you add back. Donation to political parties is not bodies that you under the company income tax that you should be donating money to, so you add it back. Then other disallowable expenses you add back, then you now get your global adjusted profit ratio. So that is what they ask you to do in question 2A, the computation of global adjusted profit ratio. Then the next thing is for you to compute adjusted profit ratio and depreciation ratio. Now these two things is formula that you need to know. The formula for adjusted profit ratio is global adjusted profit over global income multiplied by 100/1. That's the formula for global adjusted profit ratio. Your global adjusted profit, which we just arrive at A, divided by your global income. And I told you the other time, your global income is all the income, that is the addition of Nigeria income and other income outside Nigeria. And when you see that question now, it's already arrived at for us. Our global income is 240 million. It's given to us directly. We have income from transportation, income from Nigeria to Singapore, income from London to Nigeria, income from Nigeria to China, then from other cities to Nigeria. So the addition of the four now gives us our global income. So you now have the addition of the two, then you get your global adjusted profit ratio. Then depreciation ratio too. The formula for depreciation ratio is depreciation over global income times 100/1. Your depreciation over global income times 100/1. You also get the formula, you also get your depreciation ratio from that. And that is the end of B that you have to do. Then our C now say you should computation of total profit liable to tax in Nigeria for 2019 year of assessment. So the first thing now, for you now to be able to compute the income of this company, because this company is a non-Nigerian company, but for you now to compute its income that is liable to tax in Nigeria, you must determine Nigeria income. You must determine what? Nigeria income. And your Nigeria income, you just have two Nigeria income there. Income from Nigeria to Singapore and income from Nigeria to China. That is the two Nigeria income we have in the all income that is given to us in the question. And when you add the two together, that gives you your total Nigeria income. And for you now to arrive at your Nigeria adjusted profit now, your Nigeria adjusted profit or accessible profit now, the formula is Nigeria income multiplied by global adjusted profit ratio. And you remember we calculated global adjusted profit ratio in B. The percentage you arrive at there is what you multiply by Nigeria income. Then that will give you your Nigeria adjusted or accessible profits. And your Nigeria capital allowance too, if you are not giving, the formula is depreciation ratio multiplied by Nigeria income. That will give you your capital allowance. You now less your capital allowance from Nigeria adjusted profit or accessible profit, then you get your total profits for Nigeria. So, and that is the end of C. And D now says income that is taxable. Now, that with before company income tax is 30%, so you look for 30% of that. But now you now know that we now subject companies to small company, these and large company. So and we have the rate that is allocated to them also accordingly. So you apply accordingly based on their turnover. So then you arrive at your this thing. So and that is the end of the question. So any question on this? Question 2. You have any question on question
I
2?
don't know. Can you help us with the rates based on turnover for small, medium, and large companies?
Okay, I will do
Just to
that.
be sure of what I have here.
Okay, I will do that shortly to give us
Okay.
the breakdown of the turnover. So for company income tax now, we make use of turnover to know, small companies now are exempted. Small companies are exempted from paying tax now because any company that is adjudged a small company, they are exempted from paying tax. Please, come just give me some few minutes to. I don't want to. The varies. I want to come see that. Um, somewhere. Okay, let's just continue. I will, before the end of the class, I will give us. I don't want. I want to be sure so that the what they call it, the task area of coverage for small companies, and we have area of coverage for medium or big companies. So I want to be really sure of this thing so that I will not just be giving a wrong figure. So that's that. Then the next question, they can also ask you to differentiate between life and non-life insurance. You can ask to be differentiate between life and non-life insurance. You can also ask to tell us the characteristics of a general insurance company. Characteristics of a general insurance company. Then another one is that you can be asked to briefly tell us the three insurance intermediaries that we have. The three insurance intermediaries that we have. So when we say life insurance businesses are business, these are business of insurance contracts that affect human life. From the word life, you know that they have to deal with the life of human beings, and it involves payment of certain amount of premium which is assured on the occurrence of either deaths or at maturity or any contingency dependent on human life. So that is life insurance business. Why not life insurance business? They are insurance business that give protection on other things other than life. So any other insurance that you are carrying out that doesn't have to do with life, like your motor insurance, house insurance, and so on and so forth like that, they all falls under non-life insurance businesses. Then the other one, they ask us to tell us the characteristics of a general insurance business. The characteristics of a general insurance business. So the characteristics of a general insurance business, we have one, it is an insurance plan that covers things other than human life. Anything that covers anything that is not human life is general insurance business. Then it is an indemnity contract. Then premium payment must be regular to enjoy the cover. The premium payment must be done so that you can enjoy the cover. That is, when you miss your premium payment, then if anything happens, you may not enjoy the benefit therein in such insurance contract. Then the duration must be on short term. The duration must be on short term. Then the cost of the policy depends on the value of the insurance business. So those are the characteristics of insurance, general insurance businesses. Then another thing that we are asked to talk of there is the three insurance intermediaries that we have. The three insurance intermediaries that we have insurance brokers, we have insurance agents, we have insurance loss adjusters. These are the three insurance intermediaries that we have. The insurance brokers, these are persons who bargain or negotiate between their principals and the third parties for the purchase or sales of insurance contract for a commission. These are people we call insurance brokers. While insurance agent is a person who works for an insurance company and sells the insurance product of the company. That is insurance agents. These are people that work for you. You know, there are some people that work for insurance company. They come and meet you always in your office. That come and take insurance policy, come and do this, come and do that. These are what people would call insurance agents. While insurance loss adjusters, these are certified professionals engaged by insurance company to help investigate and verify claims. That is, if you have insured against a particular thing and the loss has occurred, then we have people that will come and verify the claims. These people, we call them insurance loss adjusters. These are the people that are in charge of verifying the claims. So that is the three agents that we have in insurance businesses. Now, any question on that? Do you have any question on that we have just discussed? Hello, do you have any question on that we have just discussed?
No
Then if
question.
there's no question on that, hello, yeah,
I don't have question for that.
okay. Then you can also be asked to calculate capital allowance. You can also be asked to calculate what? Capital allowance. Now, they can give you some assets, and number one thing is that all these assets at their rate of initial and annual what? Allowances. So in some questions they may give you, and in some questions it may be you that will have to know it. Like this question now, you were giving the initial allowance percentage and the annual allowance percentage. So the first thing is that you just determine the basis period. So for each of those assets to be able to fit in those assets to those areas they fall into. So you fix it in. Then after you are fixing into the period they have fall into, then you'll be able to prepare the capital allowance by picking each of the assets. And you know, initial allowance is a percentage, is an allowance that is enjoyed once in the life of an asset. So you charge that one once on the life of the asset. That is capital allowance. While annual allowance is an allowance that is enjoyed on yearly what? Basis. That's annual allowances, is enjoyed on annual basis. But note something on that annual allowance. If that asset maybe in the first year the asset was not purchased at the beginning of the accounting year. The asset was purchased maybe in the middle of the accounting year or maybe after 3 months of the accounting year. Then that asset cannot enjoy a full year. That asset cannot enjoy a full year of what? Annual allowance. So after you have gotten your annual allowance now, you will now prorate using the number of months that we have. So, and how you arrive at your annual allowance is that the cost of the assets minus the initial allowance, then multiply by the percentage of annual allowance. Then if the asset is not enjoying a full year, then you prorate. Then you prorate by charging the number of months. Maybe 6 months, that will be 6/12 times whatever you have. So that's another thing that you can be asked to do in the exam. Computation of capital allowances. Then another thing that you can be asked to do, that is to compute tax liability for a banking company. That is for a banking company. When we're starting the class, I told you that part of those things that you can be asked to do is taxation of banks. Taxation of banks. So it depends on the way the question also come. Like the question that is before me now, they have computed the net profit too. So all you just need to look at is anything removed to arrive at the net profit that is disallowable, add it back so that you can arrive at adjusted profit. Then you continue from that point. So if you have any question, please ask now. We are open to questions, just 15 minutes to go. Any question we have, we just have 15 minutes to go. Please let's ask questions now. As if these are one of those things we are likely to meet in the exam next week. Then another thing that I'm going to advise us is that let's get more past questions to treat. You can get like 5 diet questions, then try to go through those past questions, solve them on your own. If there's anyone that you are finding difficult, you can also privately shout me on the platform. Just ask the question on the platform. Then I will do something about it, and definitely I will reply you. So that's all we can do as we prepare for the exam. So let's ask question and
Mr.
let's
Pewo,
answer
please, I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question.
Okay.
Please, this April diet 2024 and the solvents here we are caught, and some of them we are trying to go through it. I cannot get the figures rightly. It's
For which
in
question is
questions.
that? For which question is caught? Because when I look at it, I don't see anyone that is caught. But maybe I did not. Which one are you saying
April
precisely?
diet. I said April diet 2024.
The every diet. Which of the questions? Is it everything that is caught?
The question one.
For question one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will cross check and see. Then whatever area that is caught there, I will give you the solution to it. Immediately after this class, now go and look at that April 2024 that you say is caught. Because to me, I don't think there's anyone that is caught there, but I will cross check. If there is it, I will put whatever that's supposed to be there, I will put it on the platform for everyone to
Okay.
see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's caught. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other question? It's question time, oh.
Please, I have a question again.
Okay.
In that the same April diet, question 2,
Okay.
in the computation of the capital allowance that is
Yes.
under agriculture, there's something that is confusing here. Under annual allowance of motor vehicle,
Okay.
well, I know the old balance, which is 1,200,000, and when I saw where they say less 30 naira. I don't know where the 30 naira is coming from. I've tried to find the 30 naira, but I'm
At
not
the end
getting
of
it.
the question, at the end of the year of the asset, Abi.
Yes, sir. In motor
Now,
vehicle.
at the end of the year, Abi, because I don't have
Yes,
it before me, but if it's at the end of the life of the asset, Abi,
yes, sir.
now it is statutory that at the end of the life of any asset, you leave 30 naira in the account. That one is statutory. It's not that it's coming from anywhere.
Okay,
It's
okay,
statutory that you leave 30 naira there as a balance on the life of the asset. It shows that the asset is still in existence.
okay. In all the fixed assets,
Yes, now is in all the fees assets.
okay.
But I don't have
Because
that
the
question
example
before
was
me,
there.
but I know that is what should be happening by seeing 30 naira there.
Yes, that is on annual allowance for the motor vehicle. They just deducted from 1.2 million. They deducted 30 naira, and in the question there was no 30 naira. I think it was giving me issue when I was
Okay,
trying
when
to
I look
solve it.
at the question, I will explain better for you on the platform.
Okay, sir. I will appreciate, sir. Thank you.
Okay, when I look at the question, I will explain better for you.
Okay, sir.
As soon as we are through with the class now, I'll go and check that question.
Yeah, that is 2024. This April diet.
I know. It's on the
Okay.
I pasted it on the platform for you.
Yes, I saw it.
So I'll go and check it and see what is happening. That's question 2, Abi.
Yes, and that is question 2.
Question 2. I'll go and check it and see what is happening on that question. So both question 1 and question 2, I'll cross check and get back to you on it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question? Okay, now for the company income tax that someone asked the other time. Hello, please, can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Now, for companies that are large companies, these are companies that have 100 million or above as their turnover, and they are to pay 30%. Are we getting it now?
Yes, sir.
Then for companies that are medium size, these companies are to pay 20%, and their annual turnover must be above 2 million, 25 million, but must be less than 100
100.
million. Do we get it now?
Yes, sir.
So the other the companies now that ends below that is a small company, and that one pays 0%. I hope it's clear now.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Now for
Yes,
people
what
that
of for
answer,
EDT? What of for their EDT? That's for CIT, for EDT.
oh, the education tax.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
The
Um,
percent.
now all of them will pay education tax now.
because it's
Include the
non-assessable
small
profit.
complaints.
Eh?
Include the small complaints.
No, the small companies will not. Only companies that are paying CTT will. Hello.
CIT. We
Yes, that will
pay.
pay education tax. The
Okay.
small companies are exempted from paying tax. Any company
Okay.
that is adjudged a small company by their
Okay. Now,
turnover.
okay, sir. Okay. Can I ask a question? Now,
Yes.
if I'm given a question of, let's say, maybe 2020, and at that time, this exemption was not in place.
No, no, no. Let me tell you one thing. They can't give you a question in 2024. That will be a question of 2022.
2020.
If they
Okay.
will give you a question now, they will give you a question based on the current happenings. And that is why you
Oh,
are writing exam.
okay.
Are you
Okay.
getting
So we
it
should
now?
just focus on what is current.
Yes, it's current. So that's why we are professionals now. They want you to
Yeah.
know current happenings. So they are going to test you on current things.
Okay. Okay. But for EDT,
Okay.
I know there's one for 2.5. There's one for 2%. Don't know if you can help
Well,
clarify that.
before it's 2.5%.
Yeah.
But I learned that it was increased. I don't know
It
whether it
was
is
it was
effective
increased
now
to
or not.
3%.
It's 3%, sir.
To 3%.
3%, sir. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So I knew it was 2.5 before, but I know they have increased it to 3%.
Okay.
So
So
we also
for
be
both
current with
medium and large, is it 3%?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's 3% for all. That one do not have a variation.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Any other question? Well, if there's no other question, I wish us all the best as we write our exam next week. Free. If you have any question, please ask me. And I can also send past questions, small past questions for you to practice on the platform so that you can, at least I can send you 5 direct questions so that you can be exposed to different questions. Thank you all for your
Okay,
time.
sir.
I wish you all the
Thank you,
best.
sir.
Yeah.
No. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.